So I'm joined today by Victoria Great, who is the Vice President of Business Development and Marketing for Capitaland's first ever shared executive learning centre called Catapult, which is setting up Singapore's future leaders right here in this very city. And so we're very excited to have her here today. Victoria is very passionate about preparing the next generation of future fit leaders here. And so thank you so much for joining us here today.
My pleasure.
So we're going to start our first question. What was the vision behind setting up Catapult and why are you so excited to be here?
Well, Catapult is all about having Singapore's first leadership centre. It's something that we feel very proud of, and it's very much the first of its kind, not just in Singapore, but actually in Southeast Asia. So our inspiration and our mission is to help prepare leaders to be future ready and able to deal with a lot of the complexities and the ambiguities that life throws at us these days.
Awesome. So how does Eagle's Flight fit into the vision and the purpose of Catapult?
We're absolutely thrilled to have Eagle's Flight as a partner here within our Catapult campus. I feel there are many common values between what Eagle's Flight does and what Catapult stands for. Perhaps the most important one is the approach towards learning, taking a very immersive and experiential way to deliver training to make it really, really impactful. So when we first met and started discussing, I could see that we were totally on the same wavelength. And I'm thrilled that, at the end of those discussions, and that we're able to have the team from Eagle's Flight here on the campus with us.
Awesome. Can you describe the unique design and how we've actually incorporated technology into the building here?
So one of the key differences about Catapult is that we have designed and built this space on principles of neuroscience. So Dr. James Andrade is the head of Catapult. He is a PhD neuroscientist, and we've spent a lot of time studying how people learn and how the brain works. And what we know is that in order for training and learning to be more sticky, we need to take a more immersive or experiential approach to learning. We need to tap into the emotional side of the brain, what we call the limbic system. So in order to do that, we've built a space designed on those principles, and we've invested heavily in technology. So when you visit Catapult, you'll see a lot of the very interesting and shared virtual reality platforms. We have a room with a 180-degree panoramic screen. We have another one with a full 360-degree screen. And those are wonderful spaces that companies, obviously like yourselves and other training providers, can use to make that training more sticky, more impactful, and therefore deliver better results.
Awesome. And how do you find that this use of technology in the different spaces actually helps with the various learning styles that people have?
I think people have very different learning styles, but one of the things we know is we've just come out of the pandemic. Everyone's been doing things fully virtual. And whilst there are many things that you can do online, I think at a certain point, people need to connect. Humans are hardwired to connect. And I think now is a great time when we can actually deliver trainings in person, make them a lot more interactive. And I know that's something that both Eagle's Flight and Catapult believes in, is that training shouldn't be about sitting and listening to a professor downloading 250 PowerPoint slides, right? It has to be interactive, simulations, role plays, questions, answers. That's the way that people learn. And that's exactly how we've designed this space and the ability for companies like yourselves to be able to deliver in that fashion.
So how does Catapult plan to continue to develop and innovate in the space of learning and development here?
I think we always have to stay one step ahead of ourselves. We were talking about technology, and technology is something that changes very quickly, but that's something where I think we want to experiment and try new things and explore new ways of working. So, as we continue to innovate, we will look at new ways that we can deliver training, whether it be fully in person, whether it be fully virtual, or whether it be hybrid. But technology for us is really an enabler to make that learning journey more seamless.
And so what have you found to be the most prominent challenges that are facing employees in organisations, and how do you see it tying into the work that we're doing here?
It's quite a challenging time coming out of the pandemic at the moment. The one thing that we know is constant is change. So, if I had to choose one skill that I think everyone needs, it would be agility. We are no longer able to predict what the future will hold for us. We only know that it will be full of change. So for that reason, we need to be able to train people to be agile and able to deal with whatever the future brings.
What do you see as the future of learning and development?
I think learning and development is no longer a nice to have, it's a must have. As we move into some of the challenges we see in the economy, I think companies need to understand that they have to invest in their people. So if they're not willing to have that growth mindset, it's going to be very hard for them to have a sustainable business future and a good pipeline of talent moving forwards. So that's something that we see as a great opportunity, and it's something that we feel really excited about. And I think, together with partners such as yourselves, I think we're very well poised to be able to help to meet those kind of challenges.
So we love being a part of the Catapult home. We have so many of our favourite spaces in and amongst this building. What's your favourite part about the Catapult home?
So we call this space the learner's playground. We wanted to inject, a bit more fun into learning. It should be something where you can meet like-minded people, where you're constantly stimulated, a place for creativity and for new ideas, and where you can experiment, take a little bit of risk, go out of your comfort zone. And I think that not just the space itself, but also the community and the people we have there, I think that's what we feel most excited about.
So Victoria, thank you so much for joining us here today. It has been such a wonderful, insightful conversation, and we're really excited to be a part of Catapult's future and the future of learning and development. And so thank you for having us as a part of the Catapult home, and we can't wait to see what we can do together.
My pleasure.